Whoa, can I help you?
Potato Man.
Where the hell have you been?
Hello. Today we are going to be talking about Vikings and their trip to Vinland, or, as it is known today... Canada! Yes, Canada, home of maple syrup, the Sasquatch, and residential schools. Do look that up, it's very depressing. There is some debate around the precise location of Vinland, but the general consensus is that it was somewhere in Newfoundland. Vikings were not quite the famed scholars at the time, preferring instead to tell exaggerated stories and sagas. As such, we can only really go by hearsay, only a few written accounts, some archaeological evidence, and guesswork. Anyway, let's go back to around 1000 ACE, where Leif Erikson, shown here,
Hey everybody, it's Leif Erikson Day! Hinga-dinga-durgan!
sailed to Vinland with some of his buddies. At one point, he and his mates found a few indigenous Canadians, or Skraelings as the Vikings would name them, hiding under a canoe. Naturally, the Vikings stabbed them, but one got away and came back with a much larger force. Forcing Leif and his Viking buddies to flee. End of story, right? Wrong! Roughly 200 years later, more Vikings from Greenland came back to Vinland and started trading, and then fighting again. While the Vikings all had better weapons and shields, the Skraelings had knowledge of the land and numbers. The Vikings, again, had to leave. The Vikings would not come again to try and establish a settlement. It was so far from home, and the indigenous peoples were far too difficult for them to fight. Indeed, the settlements in Greenland were becoming less tenable thanks to farming issues and constant fights with the Inuits. That only made chances of going to Vinland even scarcer. Thus, the Vinland saga came to an end. Thank you.